Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to take a trip out to Terelj Park, actually Terelj National Park. This park is located just to the southeast of Ulaanbaatar. We decided to take a little mini vacation and visit a Gorkhi camp. The weather here hasn't been cooperating very well. Since the first days when we arrived, it was in the upper 80s to 90. The temperature has since dropped and it varies anywhere between 50 and 80 degrees. It's kind of settled in somewhere between 40s and 70s now. It's just kind of weird. It's been raining a lot and yeah, it's not fun, but we're going to make the best of it. So come on this trip with us out to Terelj Park. We start our journey out to Terelj, which is just east of Ulaanbaatar. We take the main highway that heads out there. Along the road, there are many sights to see. There are food places along the way. We found a spot that was selling chicken. This chicken was actually produced in Mongolia. Mongolia has now started to raise chicken and sell them internally. Much like in my last video when I talked about bottling their own water, this is something else that they're doing, because normally chicken would be imported, and I think it still is in the large part. However, there's a farm now that produces local chicken that they can sell. Just before you enter the park, there's a little area you can stop and get some food. If you're going for a day trip, you don't have to bring your own food. If you don't want to, you can just stop at one of these points and pick up enough food and drinks to last you for the day. My first visit to Terelj was 11 years ago when I first came to Mongolia. I stayed at the Yanshin Lodge, which is not too far from Terelj. The place was very nice and actually had gurs and a building. I decided I wanted to stay in the building because it was September and it was already getting cold and I needed some place that actually had heat. I decided to check out the Yanshin Lodge to see if we could get a spot there, but after seeing the compound after 11 years, it certainly changed from what it was many years ago. So we decided to stop at some other places just to see what was on offer. One of the really nice ones that we wanted to go to wasn't available, so then we headed out to Terelj, which was kind of our first choice when we looked online to come out here. To get to the Terelj camp, you have to go off the main road and drive on the dirt road for a little bit. But once you get there, the complex is quite large. There are two sections. There's one with the luxury gurs and there's other sections, one for the regular gurs. The luxury gurs have a bathroom and a toilet on the inside, and the regular gurs is just a place to sleep, and there's a main building inside the center of the camp between both areas where there is toilets and showers. In the center of the compound there is a giant gur next to the shower buildings. This is the dining hall. Food and beverages can be obtained here, and you can sit either inside or outside depending on your preference. It was turning out to be a pretty chilly evening, so we ordered some soup, which made for a good start for the night. While walking around, I discovered that there was a golf course on the property. I didn't even notice it before, but it was when I started going up the hill is when I realized that All this green out here looks like a golf course. And a couple minutes, maybe an hour after I started, taking photos and sitting up top, then people came out and they got on the course and started playing. So you do have some other activities that you can do here. Our first try at hiking didn't quite go as planned because the weather came in, so we had to turn back. So today we have some rain. Well, we're out here in the countryside. Here in Mongolia, it's been said you can experience all 4 seasons in one day. And we broke out the winter gear. Plus the space heater. Yeah, it's gonna be that kind of day. I mentioned cashmere in my last video. Came in handy for this trip. Definitely something you want to have. Because one night, or maybe 2 nights, it actually got down into the 30s. And man, yes. That little space heater came in handy, but also my cashmere socks and gloves, along with the thermals. Can't forget those. The next morning, it actually turned out a little bit better. Once it started to dry up, we decided it was time to go for the hike. Now, even though it wasn't raining anymore and the things are dried up, the day turned out to be windy. Walking up the hill without a jacket was not in the plans. So you pretty much dressed like wintertime and headed up the mountainside. The further up we got, the better the views got. And I'll tell you, like I've said in my other videos, Mongolia is a very, very beautiful place. These hills, once you get to the top of one and you look further out, there are just so much more places to see. Now, since we've been driving on the main road a lot of the countryside that you don't see, just some, the hills are just there kind of blocking it. But once you get on top of one, there is just so much out there. So as we reached the summit of the hill, you could hear the winds blowing through the trees. It actually had a really nice sound to it, and I tried capturing it on video just so you could hear what it was like up here on the top of the hill. So after spending some time on the top of the hill, we decided it was time to head back down and head back to camp. Later on that evening, there was a wedding going on at the compound. So that kind of put a damper on the things that I wanted to do for the rest of the day. However, all in all, the short stay was pretty darn good and we enjoyed ourselves out here. Just being able to spend some time out in the countryside without any kind of pollution, no traffic noise, for me, it was a great thing. There are a lot more things to do out here, and because we didn't have any transportation this time around, we didn't get to go see some of those other sites. I can tell you for a fact, on my first visit here, we went to a monastery and some other places out further into the park, and it was an exciting experience. If after watching all my videos on Mongolia, it has piqued your interest in coming to Mongolia, once you get to Ulaanbaatar, before going anyplace else, I would highly recommend to stay out here in Terelj Park. I hope you've been enjoying the video so far, and I'd like to thank you for watching my channel and commenting. For those of you who are watching and not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. We're a couple hundred subscribers away from making our first goal of 1,000. Every subscriber helps, so please hit that subscribe button as you watch the video. There'll be more video coming in the future. I have another video I want to do to complete out the Mongolia series, so stay tuned for that one. Again, thanks everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.